just going to be doing a quick about 15-minute noodle dish that I love to make in the wintertime. Glass noodles. So very easy. The noodles take about 3 to 4 minutes of boiling. So I'm gonna start with chopping up all of my veggies, like my onions, my zucchini. Then I'll probably measure out all of my ingredients. I'll show you what we're gonna be using today. So I just set up here all of my ingredients here. I have olive oil, which I'm substituting for sesame seed oil, soy sauce, garlic, ginger, everything bagel seasoning, rice vinegar here, zucchinis. These are the noodles here. You can use ramen for this recipe as well. I have some limes here. What else? I have my onion, a little bit of broth. I like to add broth. The recipe doesn't call for broth, but I do. I'll also be adding some brown sugar. So I actually forgot to unthaw my meat, so do not be like me. So right now I'm just waiting for my shrimp to unthaw and a little bit of chicken thigh that I'm gonna add to that as well. So let's get started. All right, so like I mentioned, we're gonna start off cutting up all of our veggies. All right, so we got our zucchini here that we're gonna start with first. All right, so I'm done chopping up those zucchinis. Just so y'all know, y'all can use any type of vegetables in this. You can put carrots, broccoli, whatever you decide to put in there. I just chose zucchini because I was tired of broccoli. Next, I have my chives here, and I'm only gonna cut up just a little bit of these, and these are actually not gonna go in to the skillet. They're just gonna go on top once we are done. All right, so like I said, you can just sweep these to the side once you are done. Next, we have our onion here. I'm just gonna cut a piece off of here. I mean, you can put whatever you like, but I don't like a lot of onion, so I'm just gonna get a little bit there. So I'm just gonna cut my onion the long way. If you ever had pho or like ramen before, anything like that, then you know exactly what I mean. Up. All right, I don't know about y'all, but I love lime with any like of my Thai dishes, Asian dishes. Cut this up into 4s. All right, so last but not least, I'm gonna add some jalapeno. It's not for me. I do not like spicy things, but my boyfriend does. All right, so now that we have all of our add-ins chopped up, we're gonna push those to the side, and then I'm going to measure out all of our seasonings and spices, so it'll be just easier for us to throw in there. Like I said, this is a very quick meal, so I usually just do everything at one time, so that way when it's time to put it all together in the pan to make the sauce, I can just throw everything in at one time. All right, so now we have our bowl here. We have all of our oils, seasonings, spices. Okay, so we're gonna start with our ginger. This is the ginger that I'm gonna be using. You can of course use fresh ginger, but this is just quick for me, so this is the ginger I'm gonna use. So next we're gonna do our minced garlic. I'm just gonna be using garlic that's already minced here in the jar. 1 clove is usually 1 teaspoon, so we're gonna do 6 of these. All right, now we're gonna add our brown sugar. Next we're gonna use our rice vinegar here. I'm gonna be substituting my olive oil for my sesame seed oil, and you need 2 tablespoons of this. And last but not least, we have our soy sauce. So I'm gonna take my whisk here, just try to whisk all this together. And again, once we're done with that, just gonna set that to the side. All right, so we got a clean cutting board here, and we're going to start to cut up our meats. So as I said before, I'm gonna be using chicken and shrimp. So I'm just laying down some paper towels so that way I can dry my meats before I cut them and season them. Alright, so we have our meat here and they are all dried. I've already trimmed my chicken to make sure that I got as much fat off as I want it to. You don't have to use chicken and shrimp. I just use chicken and shrimp because it's easy. I'm not even a chicken person, but my boyfriend is. Alright, so I'm gonna take my knife and I'm just gonna be cutting these into smaller pieces. Alright, so now that we have all of our meats cut up, all our veggies cut up, we are going to start cooking. So the first thing I'm gonna make is my chicken and my shrimp. Alright, before I add in my shrimp, I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken broth. This is when I'm going to add in my veggies, so my zucchini and my onion as well. I'm adding the shrimp last because shrimp doesn't take that long to cook. So this is when I'm going to also put my water on to boil for my noodles. You can also add like some sriracha or red pepper flakes, chili, spicy. I'm gonna add in some lime juice now, just a little bit. Just let that all simmer together. Alright, so while that is simmering, we're going to make our noodles. Again, this is what the package looks like for the noodles. We have our water already boiling. And these literally cook for 3 minutes. Your noodles drained, we're just going to add them right to our sauce. Alright, so we're going to use our everything bagel seasoning and our chives. Alright, so these are our noodles. All finished. And like I said, I usually take a little bit of chives on the top. And I do add everything bagel seasoning, just for like a little crunch. I don't really like a bunch of sesame seeds, so this is what I use instead. Margarine. And a couple jalapeños, and there you have it. So this is a glass noodle Asian inspired dish, and I hope you enjoy our time together, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.